Quick test. You know who the president is. You probably know your 2 senators. You might even know your member of Congress. Now try this. Name one person on your city council, one school board member, one person who votes on your property tax rate. That drop you just felt is where most of our real power leaks out. Now picture what we see on the news and in our feeds week after week. Streets in Washington packed with signs, national marches, chants about issues that live at the highest level of government, hashtags climbing the charts. Again, I am not mocking protest. People have a right to march, and sometimes a duty. But here's the irony. Most of those national demands are diluted 3 or 4 times before they touch your life. They trickle down through agencies, state houses, and local boards. By the time a big national cause arrives where you live, it is no longer a slogan. It is a line in a budget, a line in a zoning code, or a line in a school policy. That is where the real grip is. And in most places, there are no marches on those nights at all. In Washington, thousands of people shout in front of the Capitol. Back home, a school board votes on discipline rules for your kid in a room with 15 folding chairs and more empty seats than people. We fill the streets for the top of the ladder and leave the bottom rungs mostly unattended. Open your phone and look at what passes for news most days. A national poll, a presidential gaffe, a clip of 2 members of Congress yelling, 5 hot takes on what the Supreme Court might do. If that is your whole diet, you would think government is one stage in Washington, and the rest of us are there to clap or boo. Meanwhile, the decisions you feel first are being made in rooms that never hit your feed. The speed limit on the road where your kid waits for the bus. Whether that empty lot becomes a park, a shelter, or a storage facility. Library hours, noise rules, patrol patterns, sidewalks, bus routes, how high your property taxes climb this year. None of that is set by the people you argue about on social media. That is zoning boards, city councils, school boards, county commissions, and state legislatures. Power is much closer than the national drama wants you to notice, because if you understood how close it is, you would not wait for the next presidential election to feel less powerless. You could start by changing what happens at 7 o'clock on a Tuesday in a building you can drive to. Right now, we are over-informed about the level of politics farthest from our daily lives and almost blind to the level sitting on our front burner. We refresh national headlines like we are checking a pulse. We binge commentary from people who will never set foot in our town. We quote our favorite host more easily than we can quote our city charter. Ask people who the president is and the hands go up. Ask who sits on their school board, who votes on their water rates, who decides if the library closes a day a week and the room goes quiet. That silence is not neutral. It is an opening others have already walked through. Lobbyists, developers, and organized interest groups know every name on every council, board, and commission. They know which agenda items matter. They do not need to march with signs. They show up early, sit near the microphone, and talk calmly to the people who will vote. If they know your representative's name and you do not, the conversation is tilted before you enter it. Government is not one big they. It is a ladder, city and county, then state, then federal. On each rung, real people vote yes or no on decisions that touch your life. Washington passes a transportation bill. Your state slices the money. Your county and city decide whether that means a road in your neighborhood, a bus route to your job, or a new exit ramp somewhere else. Congress sets national education policy. Your state builds the funding formula. Your school board decides class size, start times, and which programs die first when the money runs short. By the time a national cause reaches your front door, it has been filtered through that ladder. That is the dilution we don't see in the protest photos. So how does a rule actually land on your street? National coverage usually stops at a law was passed and then jumps back to speculation. But you feel the impact in smaller, quieter moves. Your city passes an ordinance on short-term rentals. A few months later, you have more weekend parties on your block and fewer long-term neighbors. Your county adjusts industrial zoning. Next year, your drive home includes a new plant, or your view includes a new stack. Your school district issues a policy memo. Discipline changes. Reading is taught differently. A piece of your local history shrinks to a paragraph. No cameras, no trending hashtag, just a 3-page document and a Tuesday vote. If you spend your energy arguing about national personalities while ignoring local agendas, you are fighting over the trailer, while someone else quietly rewrites the script. So what do? I am not asking you to stop caring about national issues. I am asking you to start matching your concern to the place where it can actually move something. 3 steps, 1 week, no bullhorn required. First, build your ladder. Take 10 minutes and look up your city or town council members, your county commissioners, your school board members, your state representative and your state senator, your U.S. House member and your 2 U.S. senators. Write them down. Next to each name, note one thing that person controls that touches your life. This council votes on zoning and noise rules. This board sets school boundaries and policies. This commission votes on water rates and property taxes. This state legislator votes on hospital and highway funding. This member of Congress votes on national spending and federal law. If you cannot figure out what a name controls, that explains a lot about why you feel distant from power. Second, read what they are doing. Go to your city, county, or school district website. Pull up the agenda or minutes from the last meeting. Skim. You do not need a law degree or a staffer. Find one item that affects you. A fee increase, a development permit, a change in school start times, a decision about a park, a library, a shelter, a road. That is your front burner. Not the latest quote from a national figure who will never learn your name, but the quiet line item that could change your rent, your commute, or your child's day. Third, ask one specific question. Pick one agenda item and send one specific question to one official tied to that decision. Not a vague, "You politicians are all the same." Not a rant on social media that never reaches a decision maker. A short, targeted question. Councilmember Smith, I saw the proposal to close the East Side Library on Fridays. How much would that save, and what other options were considered? School Board Member Lopez, I noticed the new reading curriculum on last month's agenda. What evidence are you using to select it, especially for struggling readers? Commissioner Johnson, there is a zoning change proposed near the old factory site. How will residents be notified? And what traffic impact has been studied? Respectful, concrete, answerable. When you do that, you step out of the national shouting match and into a local conversation where your name is attached to a real question. You will notice something else, too. You rarely have to fight through a crowd to be heard. There is no permit required to speak during public comment. We have all seen streets packed for national causes that will be thinned out and bent around corners long before they reach us. Now picture the next school board meeting in your town. Picture the next zoning hearing. If there is a protest at all, it probably fits on one sidewalk. If even a fraction of the people who march on national questions also showed up, calmly, in those smaller rooms, the implementation would look different. The dilution would not be so quiet. So here is my ask. This week, trade 10 minutes of national hot takes for 10 minutes of actual local power. Build your ladder. Read one agenda. Send one specific question. Keep caring about the big questions. Just stop behaving as if the only real politics happens on the biggest stage. Power is closer than you think. If you keep staring at the farthest level and ignore the decisions on your front burner, someone else will happily cook your future for you. If you turn even a little of your attention toward the rooms you can walk into, you will not need a march to matter. You will have something more effective than a viral clip. You will have a seat where the decision is actually made. God bless you all, and God bless the United States of America.